Our opening words today are Spring and All by William Carlos Williams. By the road to the contagious hospital, under the surge of the blue mottled clouds driven from the northeast, a cold wind. Beyond the waste of broad, muddy fields, brown with dried weeds, standing and fallen, patches of standing water in the scattering of tall trees. All along the road, the reddish, purplish, forked, upstanding, twiggy stuff of bushes and small trees, with dead brown leaves under them, leafless vines. Lifeless in appearance, sluggish, dazed, spring approaches. They enter the new world naked, cold, uncertain of all, save that they enter. All about them the cold, familiar wind. Now the grass, tomorrow the stiff curl of wild carrot leaf. One by one, objects are defined. It quickens, clarity, outline of leaf. But now the stark dignity of entrance. Still, the profound change has come upon them. Rooted, they grip down and begin to awaken.
Good morning, everyone, and blessed Imbolc to you all. So today we are going to have a special guest after me, Miss Jasmin Smoot-Leyva, and she will be talking a little bit more about Imbolc. But before we get there, I want you to all join me for a bit of a winter meditation in honor of today's Sabbath. So if you would all please settle back into your seats, take a moment to put your feet on the floor, relax your shoulders, close your eyes. Take a moment to mentally address yourself warmly. Pull on the fuzzy socks. Slip on the gloves you wear maybe 2 weeks a year. Put a hat over your head and cover your ears, because we're going outside and it's going to be cold. Once you have your boots on, step out your front door. Close it tightly behind you and step out off the porch into the snow that still lingers on the ground outside. Let your boots crunch through the first layers of snow, all the way down to the ice that still lingers next to the ground. Let it crack under your weight as you take steps out onto the grass covered in snow, out away from your house, towards a wooden fence, not too far. The fence runs along an open field, and it too still is covered with patches of ice. Blankets of white, tossed everywhere over the brown of fading grass and mud. Reach out and let the roughness of the fence go under your hand as you walk along it to the corner under an oak tree, limbs barren still from the winter cold. a herald to the woods just beyond. From the tree from creaky chains is an old wooden bench seat. Take a moment to brush it off before you sit. And let yourself swing freely, calmly, in the little cold breeze that still winds itself through the trees out onto the field. The woods beyond are brown and gray, stubborn cedars hiding in the darkness. A speckle of red berries clings here and there, stubborn through the January cold. But out in the field, the sun is beginning to peek through gray clouds. And in the mud left behind from melting ice, clover and grass are beginning to sprout up, much to the joy of the cows and the sheep that have already been loosed from the barns in anticipation of spring. Some are fat and round, happily mooing as they munch down fresh greens to supplement the dry winter hay. Some are no longer fat, having already given birth to early calves and lambs that follow behind their mothers with soft bleats, the promise of life renewed. Because that is Imbolc today. This is the turning point where the cold of winter begins to lose its strength, when the ice begins to give way. For the vernal equinox is in view, and we and the whole world are left holding a collective breath in anticipation of the warmth, the light, and the life stirring all around us, waiting to dance again. Blessed Imbolc, take a moment more to breathe and welcome our guest speaker, Jasmin, today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sarah, and everyone before me. I think the last time I did any kind of somewhat public speaking was a decade ago, so forgive my nervousness. My name is Jasmin. I am a coven leader for a group called the Grove of the Flame Acanthus in DFW. I asked Sarah if I could help participate in y'all's Imbolc celebrations this year, and I was so delighted to be welcomed with open arms. For today, I want to talk about celebration, how I've experienced celebration. I think the first holiday that I celebrated as a pagan was, funnily enough, Imbolc. I decided to try and bake bread for the first time in my life in honor of Ricke. I think I used expired yeast and all-purpose flour, and it did not work. It did not rise. I didn't knead it enough. It was gross. My spirit, though, was not crushed. I decided that I was going to celebrate in my own way, even if it was deemed unconventional. I decided to clean up my altar, go shopping for new altar pieces, and take loads of photos of myself in my backyard. Even though it was February, it was already pretty warm here in Texas. I remember the grass already being really vibrant and the wind whistling through the trees. And another event I remember very fondly was our most recent summer solstice event. We were in the direct heat of summer, probably 100 plus degrees, and we thought it would be a really good idea to rent a larger space. We decided on an outdoor pavilion somewhere in Louisville. Why we didn't think of renting someplace with air conditioning, I don't know. We had a ton of fun activities. We did rock painting and chalk drawings, trivia and bingo, a ritual. It was a success in my eyes, probably one of the largest turnouts we've had for 2025. However, once folks left the event and arrived home, the comments started rolling in. Next year, can maybe someone bring popsicles? Maybe we should do a water balloon fight next time. And remind me to bring in some plug-in fans next year. Sometimes those really small things don't go unnoticed. But regardless of the mishaps, as a solo practitioner or as a leader to a much larger organization, it's not about what goes wrong that makes a celebration worthwhile. And it's not about what you force yourself to do, the things you forget, or the things that go completely wrong. What matters in celebration is slowing down, taking things moment by moment, and celebrating yet another year upon the earth, another year where we can remember the sun shining on our faces, the flowers peeking up from the dirt as we slowly crawl out of the depths of winter. And to me, that's what's worth celebrating. It's not always about making sure that you're doing the absolutely perfect thing at the perfect time. Sometimes all you need is just a reminder to show up, acknowledge the holiday, celebrate on your own terms, acknowledge and love the people around you, no matter how it turns out. I hope you all can find some kind of quiet celebration on your own today. Even if you don't necessarily subscribe to Imbolc, consider what you can celebrate today and even what you can celebrate every day. I hope you all will stay and join us for socializing and a ritual after service. I think originally we were going to do it in the Labyrinth, but it's iced over. So I think we'll move to a different location. But I think we're going to be doing that around like 1 o'clock, 1:15. So I hope to see you guys there. And thank you.
Our closing words today are "A Light Exists in Spring" by Emily Dickinson. A light exists in spring, not present on the year at any other period. Wind march is scarcely here. A color stands abroad on solitary fields that science cannot overtake, but human nature feels. It waits upon the lawn. It shows the furthest tree upon the furthest slope you know. It almost speaks to thee. Then as horizons step or noons report away, without the formula of sound, it passes and we stay. A quality of loss affecting our content, as trade had suddenly encroached upon a sacrament.